And we're back. It's time to go into our third and final series of the evening. This is going to be the Philadelphia Fusion going up against the LA Valiant. They have already had one incredible series, I guess, and the first one was a little bit of a disappointment just compared to how that matchup usually goes, but hopefully this one can also deliver.
I think it usually does, because when we look at the history of Fusion and Valiant, they've played 3 times this year. Current record says 2-1 to Fusion. Here's a look at their past 3 results. 3-2 Fusion most recently. Before that, 3-2 Valiant. That was the reverse sweep you were talking about, by the way. And then the first game of the season for them, 3-1 Fusion. And then even in 2021, you know, we've had a bunch of 3-1s. I think those 3-1s, I think Fusion want to forget about, because there was the infamous Nimbani.
The Nimbani,
But you know, this year's Valiant has been looking scary. I mean, especially looking at their past game versus Seoul. Damn, if Valiant bring that kind of firepower again, I'm worried for any team that plays them.
That I am as well, but we'll see if the Fusion are up to the task as we go ahead and take a closer look at their lineup.
Are you ready for the show?
Carpe again! And M3, he's going absolutely nuclear! That dashes and instantly finds 3 kills.
Leading the charge was team application matrix as well, but Fury, excellent gravitic flood.
Sport had the numbers, but Bellisria has the space, the mines, the double kill!
Shot through Aim God. He's looking for the elimination. He goes on the offensive, but Aim God shuts him down. Ooh, everybody really low inside of the valley. Picks gets 2 for himself. Okay. And here we are with the starting 5. Nothing too shocking. It's just going to be the normal faces, I suppose. MN3 and Zest here for the damage lineup on the side of the Fusion. So maybe we'll see Carpe a little bit later on, depending on what the map will look like.
I enjoyed the 2020 Fury footage in there as well, bit of a throwback. You remember that Fury's been on this team twice. That is going to be the Ballless Rhea starting out. I don't think he's going to be playing ball today, so no signature ball for Ballless Rhea, but we are going to see plenty of Winston, I'm sure. MN3 and Zest coming in for all the standard usual picks. Zest Tracer, I think, is going to be pretty dominant, hoping to see a lot of that. But even Sojin, I mean, the fact that Jimmy is still playing a lot of Sojin, I think MN3 can climb back on that.
We'll see what happens. We'll also see what things look like on the side of the Valiant. We saw a couple swap arounds from them in the series just yesterday, as well as had Marvel starting. We'll see if that's going to be the case, and it is.
Marvel playing some more, I would suppose it would be the Winston. He played a tiny bit of Doom as well. Doom can be a little bit tricky to navigate in this meta when there's so much Sombra on the other end, but it will depend on whether the Fusion want to play that or not. I want to focus in and lock in on Becky. I thought he was the most impressive player for me on this team yesterday. His Tracer, I think statistically, I remember saying on map 1 versus Seoul, he had almost the entirety of Prophet and Fitz's damage combined on just Becky alone. Almost. Not quite, but almost. Molly also did a really good job with his Ana. I think that's been his best hero for a long time, and something they can really reliably back into. Generally speaking, that first map, if you remember, Lee Jung was double 99s. It was a 0 and 2 set, but it was double 99s. So Fusion have to be a little bit concerned about that.
We'll see what happens, and also take a look at our map set here in just a moment, see where we're going to be heading. I was just thinking, I want to create a super team with Molly, Becky, Jimmy, Jerry, and then I need one other person. Just everybody with, like, first names, simple, and that's going to be my super team. So, if we ever expand the Overwatch League, I'm going to be buying a slot, and then that's going to be it. But here we go. Oasis into Paraiso for our second map. We'll start right now as we get ready to jump in once more to City Center.
Oh, it feels like we just got off of Oasis, but let's jump straight back in. Oh my goodness.
Because we did.
If this Oasis goes anything like our last Oasis between Charge and Chengdu, we are in for a wild ride. Let's examine opening compositions here. I think Valiant have basically locked into what they want to play, minus Becky's Tracer. Easyhan did show a decent amount of the Sombra yesterday, and it did have some good value versus Seoul Dynasty. Bellisria will be on Winston, don't get baited by the Queen. MN3 actually probably will stick on to his Sombra, so we are going to get double Sombras.
Bellisria. Okay, there's a swap. I was going to say, for a second,
Don't get baited, Kilios, as I said.
All right. swaps it up, Winston v. Winston. Just a little zappy battle up on the high ground there. Belstry and Marvel both going to be walking away with 12% on the ult charge. Jump up over the top. Here's the dive. They look for Molly, and it's perfectly executed. Well done there by MN3. It's the hack across. Looks for another one there on a Marvel. Can't quite make it happen. That's going to be taken out by Langza, but just quickly traded back as Belstry finds the kill.
Valiant down to just Marvel and EasyHan now. Molly will come back, but really it's just 2 alive, which means a pretty easy cap. Fusion have set up their dives beautifully.
Yeah, I mean, look at MN3 right now. Just doing so much work for the team. 40% on the charge. EasyHan, half of that at the moment. Just has not been able to get into a position because his team has just been getting kind of wrecked at the very beginning. So the first lockdown is there for the side of the Fusion. Currently ticking up above 15%.
Okay, we'll see how they move forward from here. As Belstry will eat a hack, but looks okay. Just gives EasyHan a little bit more ult charge to try and catch up, right? And, you know, previous match as well, we've seen that it was the Annas that were getting the first ultimates. Fixer and AimGod take a bit of damage, and EasyHan finds the kill.
He does. He gets the elimination, but the anti had gone out. Looks like Becky, however, going to be able to play off the back of that. So it's going to be the supports gone for the side of the Fusion. The Valiant look for a very fast flip back into their favor here. 100% still going to be accrued. Belstria trying to stay alive, but just doesn't have the HP to do so. So it does fall. The flip will be there. Not even 50% going to be set up here for the side of the Fusion. They'll stop at 46.
There's a good opening from EasyHan to allow the rest of the Valiant to start swinging in, and Becky has now got the first pulse. Zestful match as they have a bit of a 1v1 that Becky will finally end. And, you know, this is what I'm talking about, right? Becky in the Soul matchup was really scary on this Tracer. Now, he's starting to feel warmed up. He's doing a ton of damage, really cleaned up those Fusion members that got low. And as we head towards other ultimates coming online, we're looking at Primal. AimGod's well ahead of Molly. That is a pretty big differential.
Yeah. Great charge for him so far. Hacks there onto AimGod. They're looking for the dive. Tucks in behind the staircase for just a moment. Lang's going to be taken down, and AimGod manages to stay alive. Good sleep here on the Marvel as well. Has the Primal for when he wakes up, so they don't really have execute onto him. We'll just leave him napping, as MN3 is also going to be doing the same, but Belstria, however, is there for the follow-up, so keeps him protected, finds the kill. Molly now going to be taken down. Marvel still committing to the Primal Rage over here on the point. A bit of backup here for the rest of his team, and now it's going to be hacked, slept, woken up, anti-dead. What a combo. Everything in the kitchen sink just thrown at him. EMP still going to be committed to the fight. EasyHan, however, gets traded up. MN3 just guns him down. That was a 3-man EMP, and they just could not play off the back of it. Ends up being a botch here. The Fusion regained control, and then we'll retake the lead here in just 8%.
And a late kill on the Linkser as well, so Fusion end up getting a lot more than what Valiant wanted to give away. And Valiant, I think, even just gave away too much in terms of EasyHan's EMP. Probably wasn't necessary. I can respect that Marvel put in a Primal just to build extra percentage on the actual cap itself. That's been overtaken now, by the way. MN3 spotted. But he actually gets a kill. He got spotted, he gets a kill. What?
Yep, gets spotted, got the hack. Molly goes down. Just further delaying, and allowing for AimGod to try to lap him to catch up towards that next nano boost here.
Fusion's about to be final fight on 4 ultimates. That's way too much for the Valiant to deal with.
Yeah, they do have 3 of their own, but they need to find some good value. MN3 trying to make the play, but he overstays his welcome. Langza gets the whip shot, gets the finish. MN3 now going to be out of the fight. EMP not doing a damn thing here for the side of the Fusion. Dive into the back. Got at risk, but Marvel turns his sights back over here to Belstria, who's currently threatening 2 members on the side of the Valiant, taking Becky down low. Primal Rage going to be popped. Juggles Marvel into the corner. The anti comes in. The shield bash as well. Marvel still somehow alive. Jumps to the opposite side. They have not killed him off. Zest doesn't manage to find that elimination now. Marvel's going to be back up to full HP. Becky's still holding onto the pulse bomb. Sees a lot of them together here on the point. This could be a juicy one. They need to win out the fight. Comes around the side, spots the supports, the shield, I believe, catches it. No, it's going to be Fixa who eats it. Ends up going down. The supports now out for both teams. It comes down to the tanks and the DPS. Marvel trying to stay alive. Gets hacked out. Nearly has that Primal to buy some more time. A couple more percentage built up for him as Belstria also going to be hacked. Goes out with 17 HP and Becky pursues. Finds that kill. The flip just about to come in. A touch there from Zest for just a brief little moment, or rather from MN3 for just a brief little moment. Extends it. Valiant get the flip in the end.
What a recovery. What a recovery from the LA Valiant. I mean, Marvel didn't die the whole time. He was staying alive on minimal HP, no healers. Bubble being put down. Builds a Primal in that fight. That is incredible. I mean, both teams in a 3 versus 3, but Belstria takes too much, gets cleaned up by Becky, and the LA Valiant first sets Molly. Forfeited. That will give Philly Fusion their 5v4.
Another great dive, but Easy Han in the meantime uses the EMP, finds Belisria, gets that kill. 3, down to a sliver as Easy Han snipes him out. Just pretty easy for him, actually. Just knows that he's going to be trying to rotate over to grab a health pack. Gets the kill. Pack now out on aim, got the dive. Not really set up, just trying to keep him harassed here. Zest extends this into OT. No, actually nearly gets the flip. Pulse bomb stick goes in. Belisria assassinated, 12% shy of the Primal Rage. Valiant, they suddenly might just be able to take this map away. MN3 going low, actually goes down. Marvel and manages go ahead and Gooba stop him. Langs it, man it up there for a moment, builds up the rally, instantly pops it, and they are zoned off. The Valiant will in fact be able to take it. City Center is theirs.
I mean, that's a multi-frag on the Belisria. The 2 kills in a row there means he doesn't get Primal. Very different game, and possibly Fusion coming back to win that round if Belisria lives one of those 2 times that he dies. First one was to Easy Han hacking him out in a trade, I believe. Valiant loses Molly, but Easy Han kills his Belisria. That's actually that's a much better trade for the Valiant. Easy Han then converts into MN3 for a 2-for-1. And then Belisria comes back and just gets pulse bombed by Becky. He just can't live. And that is tragedy because Valiant have so much control with Belisria down. And they managed to make a brilliant recovery to stay on end. And now we're looking towards University and a Rhine versus Rhine battle. London Spitfire haven't even played Rhine yet in this meta. And Valiant and Fusion are about to now.
And AimGod is just dead. He's just dead.
Okay.
Becky just turns the corner, snipes him in the face, and Easy Han is actually stuck with the Symmetra.
Oh, that's actually a great read as well, because if they knew it was going to be a Rhine versus Rhine matchup, it's like we're back in 2021, right? We used to see Sim being the ideal sort of Mei partner and burning down the Rhine shield.
Get ready to microwave. Point getting locked down here. So the wall comes up, Belisria completely cut off. They just can't break through it fast enough. He gets melted down, and this is just a beautiful read from the side of the Valiant. They're playing it to a T. Easy Han comes up with 2. Marvel, with 2 fire strikes, a kill apiece, and yeah, something needs to give. Something's got to get swapped around here.
The damage output's not the same. Easy Han's just destroying Belisria here. MN3 needs to be on his Sim as well, or... I mean, it's possible to build something. Let's take a look at the replay first of how Becky got that opening kill, by the way.
I mean, he just turned the corner. He just
but you need the Sojin to just find some snipes somehow through Marvel's shield.
Shield's broken.
Look at Belisria's shield just getting broken.
Yeah, it's just melted down, and now Marvel. He's got a window of opportunity here. Shatter at the righty, but Langs actually gets on top of MN3, takes him out. Can't do anything versus the Sim, can't do anything versus the Lucio, apparently. MN3's just dead.
We got the Sim ult now, we got the Photon Barrier up.
The barrier up, the Blizzard just 8% away. Valiant completely in control. And AimGod's just dead again. Langza continues to get his hands dirty, finds another kill. Belisria goes pin for pin, hits the floor. He's gonna stay there. The cleanup is coming through, and the Valiant are just wiping them out.
Yeah. You're about to see a Blizzard exchange where Linksa has a sound barrier and Fixer does not. Well, it depends on how long this takes, right? Because Fusion might slow the pace down, but if they slow the pace down, they lose more percentage points. We're nearly on Final Fight. Marvel is 21% ahead on Shatter. So when they break Belisria...
He has had this for
Marvel
minutes. Tries to go for a TP play, kind of botches it. Not sure exactly what happened there, but Fix is still going to get picked off. Now the sound barrier gets layered in from here from the side of the Valiant. The kills continue to be found. Marvel cleans up Belisria, but MN3 and Zest start turning the tide. 2 quick kills here for them, but we're at 94%. They still haven't really even set foot on this point. And
how things are doing
dead. They just cannot get this done. MN3, he manages to force out the overtime, but that's likely just going to be the end of it all. Belisria can't get there in time.
Oh, dude.
What an incredible read from the side of the Valiant. They play it to absolute perfection. And the Fusion show an incredible amount of rigidness. No change whatsoever. They do not match with the Symmetra, and Easion just continues to rip them limb from limb.
You will not win this Rhine matchup with MN3 on a Sojin doing air. He cannot break Marvel's shield the way Easy Han is ripping through Belisria. Absolutely ripping through Belisria. And the last thing we noticed there, I was caught this on the corner of my eye, Linksa got a kill onto, I think it was MN3 in a 1 versus 2. Just trying to like chill. He was like wall riding. He wins a 1 versus 2. Ow! What on earth is going on?
He killed them at 3 and then he came back and killed Fixa.
That should not be possible, but it did happen. That's what happened.
Utterly incredible.
And Valiant,
honestly,
I don't know, just a one-sided Ryan Brawl matchup because one team had a sim and the other didn't. That's what I'm going to break it down to. And also because Becky just dinks Aim God on the rep. Like, how does that? That was incredible.
I was watching and losing my mind because we just got to see for the play of the game, EasyHan with a quick 3K on the sim, and the tracking that he has, setting up for those charged up right-click kills.
Yeah.
It's just impeccable. So I'm sure that one will make it into the post-game highlights regardless of who wins or loses this series. But for now, it is the Valiant well out in front. They get the first map. Oasis is theirs. We're going to be going to Paraíso for our hybrid map, and we'll see if the Fusion can bring it back or if the Valiant have got more of that for us, because I'm all on board if they continue to play like this. What a series this already is from the Valiant. We'll see if the Fusion can hold a candle to it when we come back from map number 2. And we are back. What a way to start the series off. The Valiant, where they weren't able to pick up a map versus the Dynasty yesterday. They played damn close. This time, they come out swinging. They steal the first round away. City Center, 199% for them. Then they just swipe the floor with the Philadelphia Fusion, bringing out the Symmetra. Easyhan plays it to a T. We will carry on. Marvel stays in the roster as we get ready to go into Paraíso.
No hill, no problem for the LA Valiant. That was looking pretty damn good. And even the comeback on... Yep, I had the birding in there. Comeback on the initial round as well on City Center was just a treat. I mean, Marvel has just been phenomenal. I think, we've said this already, but since Marvel were added to this team, LA Valiant to me have just gone from strength to strength. And maybe they kind of faltered in Summer Showdown. They started strong on the Dia Queen. Didn't end up working out for them. Multiple map 5s. That's been kind of their identity. But, you know, we move into the series, we got a very, very quick taster of them versus Seoul Dynasty. And despite that being an 0-3, we're like, damn, I'm worried for the next team that has to play the LA Valiant. And that next team happens to be the Philadelphia Fusion. 3-1-0 down, but not out. Let's see if they can bounce back now as we head into Paraíso, and looking like a somber dive comp so far for the Fusion. This did actually work out pretty reasonably for them on City Center. So all Rhine stuff aside, I don't think we're going to get into another Rhine versus Rhine matchup for the rest of the series. So at least for Fusion, the silver lining is we can sort of just brush that away and forget about it.
Yeah. Doesn't seem likely. Back in we go. See Belstria still with a smile on his face. It seems like the spirits are still remaining high. Bit of a forward check
very
here.
Close
trying
hold.
to see what they're going to have coming out the gate. Yeah. Very, very close.
Oh, I see what they're doing. They were trying to set
up
up a dive with M3 at the beach. Yeah, M3 was coming out from the water. Like Daniel Craig in the first James Bond, like Casino Royale.
God, that was so long ago now. Well, Easyhan's dead. Good opening kill. Cess just continuing his skirmish. Becky as well, seeing what he can get done. And right now it does lead by a decent little margin here towards that pulse bomb. Could be crucial in opening up this attack here. But Marvel taken down as he tries to contest the high ground. Yeah, everybody's kind of hiding in the side room. Marvel goes to check it out. Well, he pays the iron price.
Casino Royale is my favorite of the Bond movies, by the way. I think the new one was pretty decent, but it's something about Casino Royale is classic to me.
I still haven't seen No Time to Die.
Okay, yeah, so I didn't mind it. First half was stronger than the second half. So let's see how the rest of this first half goes. It's Valiant now on their second attempt. Marvel first target, hacked out again. M3's been low a few times, but not quite dead. Pulse is available.
Been able to finish that kill. The pulse bomb goes out. It's going to go wide. Becky now has one of his own. Lobs it in. Aim God can't get away from it. Ends up falling. Will be traded though. Easyhan killed off. Pick there from MN3. Zest as well. Getting involved. Finds Langza. Now Molly's going to be taken out. Yep, that's going to be the supports out of the fight. The loss of Fix-Up not going to be too terribly costly, one would expect. Marvel does find Bellisria, but he himself down quite low as far as the HP is considered. Becky's still trying to push this. Wants to get that kill, but it's actually going to be Easyhan who managed to find Zest. Becky dead. Anti on the 2. Easyhan now occupying the point. Couple shots flying his way, and he's got to translocate out.
Yeah, that will prevent the first tick coming on through. I think M3 would have gone for the touch anyway, but LA Valiant should have the better trades here. The respawn is far closer. They should be able to get in here. M3 being very annoying. He will get the EMP far earlier than Easyhan, given that he's been so successful on the Sombra so far.
Hacks there. Dive comes in. Aimgod's actually going to be the first one that falls. Marvel able to find that, but it will be at the cost of Langza. Now the EMP going to be invested. MN3 cleans up Becky. Tries to get the hack here onto Marvel. He will be sent sailing up the side of the map. Marvel just using the primal just to try to get that pick, but with Molly gone as well, the cleanup will just come through. Rallies rolling from Fix just to keep everybody else healthy.
What a defense so far. I mean, they recover so cleanly. Fusion, despite being down on members after the initial trade a fight ago. And now with the full reset, Fusion come out on top with 3 ultimates up, burning only Rally and EMP, with which caught 3. Easyhan's only getting his first EMP now, about 3 minutes deep into the attack. And LA Valiant are running out of time. They might get full health here. They need a lot more to work through. Molly's about to die.
Yep. Dying breath. Nano out onto Langza. Doesn't have that rally up. He's trying to make his way over here towards the point. Shield bashes back. Just create some extra distance here between himself and the Fusion members. Put some damage down to the Bell.
They can't even walk up with the rally.
Yeah, they're just retreating. They just are running away.
He walks in with the rally. He's like, it's a little too hot in here, and has to back out. So their entire rally now burned for no distance gained. It has to be off the Easyhan EMP. It's got to be that.
Good spy check there from Langza to spot him. The Dive still comes through, however, they're still trying to find Molly. Sleep Dart connects, Belseria hitting the floor for a moment, does get woken up, but Hackton, the very moment that he can leap away, manages to do so. 81 HP
Marvel
remaining
jumped
on
too high.
him. 3, dead. Belseria still getting chipped away at. Aim God now under pressure. Seems like the Fusion, the defense is starting to crumble. Valiant finally occupy the point. At least 2 ticks going to be grabbed up, but this is likely just going to be the cap.
Yeah, this will definitely be the cap for sure. Now Fusion don't have Bellisry alive. It's too hard to retake without your tank. So well done for the Valiant to eventually get their EMP underway and all of that. Becky waves hello to his opposition as we will get underway. 2:30 on the clock, and they sleep on the MN3. Molly, how did you catch that? That would have been an incredible sleep. Would have had just a slight detection and then boom.
Damn, what movement from Becky though, even though he doesn't get the stick, just dash off the side, goes through the window, tries to get that pulse down. Would have been a massive play if he'd been able to get the eliminations there. Instead, just going to be pushing up the hill now, trying to get this contest going, trying to create some more space here for the side of the Valiant and get that cart moving. Pulse from Zest as well, not connecting.
And the whole time while Valiant are kind of skirmishing around this top left side, right, the payload has actually been moving along ever so slowly, so we're getting some distance now as Marvel looks towards Primal. Nano online as well. Valiant are quicker to most of the ultimates, but once more M3 will get this first EMP. He's been ahead the entire game so far. Aim God also about to hit that nano timing just as the payload is getting around that bend of the green roof, and that is this is the important corner for the Fusion to hold.
Just look at the throughput though from Becky. Another pulse bomb nearly online. Just racking these up rapidly. It's going to be 4 ults in the pocket here, but nearly 5 for the side of the Fusion if Zest can catch up.
If Valiant wait too long, M3 is going to have the opening, and once that happens, Fusion will win that fight.
Rally rolling, Lengths is going to be antied out. Can't get the finish, so the nano boost comes through from Molly just to make sure that Lengths stays alive and they can continue to get value from this green HP. Juggle's coming through, however, Belseria gets him in the corner, but the damage is just not going to be enough. Him God now in the meantime going to be taken out. Just didn't have that protection from the Winston, who is now dead. Yeah, it's a huge one. EMP does come across, man. Just to find 4. Easy Han the first to fall. Rally rolling, pulse bombs in though. Becky shuts it down. Fixa not going to be getting too much from that rally, but the card as well not going to be moving forward. 35 seconds remaining. The Valiant need to be able to break through, but the fights are just too damn scrappy.
And then the other thing is, Fusion held on to support ultimates. You notice that Valiant actually burned double support ultimate straight away. Very hard to defend against M3 when he does get that eventual EMP, and now the stick.
Yep, there it is. Lengths up, taking down the EMP in response. M3 down low on HP, but they cannot find a kill.
No time now.
Everything now to be invested here in this moment. The nano still available for the side of the Fusion. Marvel with the Primal. We get the cart moving. OT could be
and a kill.
He cannot
Easy
exit.
hacked.
Yep, he ends up going down. Huge turn there from M3. They get the punish. This card is not in a great position here for the side of the Valiant, who are currently being zoned back down through the alleyway. Primal rolling from Marvel. It's chunked out. That's going to expire. Some healing. It's back up to full HP now. Trying to apply some pressure into the back lines. Bellisry up, making his exit, giving up a little bit of space. Goes right back in. They're looking for Molly.
They want Molly.
They should be able to get him. He's so damn low. Healing from Lengths that helps keep him alive, and now he's going to be antied out. The rest of the team, however, continues to inch this cart forward, closer and closer to point B. It's about 15 meters away from getting this across the line.
Rally's coming.
Going to end up going down. The EMP comes across, however, catches on to 3. Easy Han instantly dead. Becky to follow before he can get the pulse bomb up. Now it's just the supports of the rally rolling, trying to fight back, trying to persevere. It seems like there's just no hope. Langston with a whip shot will be able to finish off Fixa. Langston out, going to be antied out. Manages to stay alive for a little bit longer, but with the pulse bomb stick there on to Molly, that should be it. Langston will die. The OT will plummet. And just in front of point B is where the cart will rest.
M3 dealt 50% more damage on the Sombra than Easy Han over the course of that first half. And that allows you to just have 1 extra EMP ahead of Easy Han, and we can see the difference there right towards the end. That's the EMP I love and remember from 2021. It's a fight winner, it is. Lands on the majority of the LA Valiant, and you'll get the 3 kills off that one. Lengsa was only... No, he actually had he had the rally, but he couldn't use it because he was hacked out by the EMP. So that's the difference maker, right? And Lengsa couldn't pre-rally the fight either because he only just managed to get the rally on time and instantly hacked up by the EMP. Just not even a window there for him to pop it. And LA Valiant have a decent amount of distance as we see the box of victory just under the bridge, a little bit ahead of it. It's a defensible position, I gotta say, for Valiant to still make something of this, but I think we knew.
Sure.
When you saw the A-point attack took until OT, all 4 minutes, I think we knew they weren't going to finish the map.
Yeah, I mean, it would take a miracle and basically for the Fusion to kind of step away from the keyboards for a while. So now it comes down to this attack. Valiant basically just going to be trying to get a full hold. Granted, that Streets phase, it can be pretty difficult to break through. So as long as they don't give over a massive time bank on A, there's still definitely a hope for them to be able to get the defense off. Cess will be looking for the opening shot. Moves out into the grenade. Goes for the pop-up. And well, it's created by Winston. And Langston there with the shield race.
Genji. So here's the thing about Genji on this map. I think there's some good value here to have an additional nano target. If we're trying to break any sort of stalemates, Nano Blade is the perfect kind of sledgehammer to get through. Does mean that you can't sort of play any Tracer flanking on this initial A point, although I think MN3 will just take over that role. You can actually see MN3 silhouette now on the very back end. He's trying to set up a dive already. They want Molly. They can. Hack on Becky,
been used.
Not a kill.
Yeah, Bellisria having to kind of exit there. Marvel very much going to be needing to do the same, but aim caught. Finds Becky. Snipes him out. Zest making his exit as he gets antied. Goes right back to contesting this high ground as he get a hack here onto Marvel.
Oh, sleep on Bellisria?
Yep, take a quick little nap, but can they get a punish? Get the ante down. He leaps up. Has the bubble. And Zest in the meantime comes around the backside. Gets on top of Molly. That's going to be the support's gone. And that should be point A broken open. Easy Han with a party gift, but Zest scoops 3. He's looking for a 4th. The recall going to be used. Quickly tracks Becky's whereabouts. He's looking for a follow-up kill. Won't find it, but that's going to be them ticking up.
Yeah, I see Marvel jumping away as well. That's the waving of the white flag confirmed. And a ton of time about to be on board for the Philly Fusion as we move forward. This will be about 5-ish minutes, just under 5. I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Okay,
do it anyway.
Becky. Oh, the insta-hack from him in 3. And Becky just falls over. They're still going to try to play this one out, though. At least
Molly slept.
Maybe get some of these ults out from the side of the Fusion. Yeah, like you say, Molly going to be slept the dash in. Greeted by an ante, but the cap comes through all the same. 4 minutes, 38 seconds, and that's exactly what we're saying. Needs to not happen for the Valiant. Came over a fairly huge time bank here to the side of the Fusion.
This is a worst-case scenario situation now for the Valiant because you've gone for a super late retake where if you're going to go for the retake, I think the timing is very important that you can't be forced into rushing through it because you're running out of time. They lose it. Becky dies instantly, and they get snowballed here as well, where Fusion win a secondary fight onto B, spending nothing. They're now sitting on 5 ultimates, also free pushing. Also, LA Valiant don't get to set up this green roof hold, and that just completely ruins their defense. They're all the way back on bridge now, and MN3 spotted them. This is just going to be an EMP. Becky will slow it down, but I think Fusion go for it anyway.
It's at least harassing him, just trying to draw some attention here from Molly. Keep his eyes trained on the back rather than the front. But you know, with the kill coming through, not much to be done here for the Fusion. Just wait it out.
Well, Becky kind of saves them then, because otherwise Valiant were about to get snowballed. So if it wasn't for that pulse, you know, that could have been a different story. Still 330 to defend though, so I mean, we're still battling uphill for the Valiant. They need to be the ones to pull EMP trigger early now. If they get EMP'd, I think they lose. So for Valiant to continue this, they have to pull EMP first.
So that's going to be down low, gets hacked. Manages to escape though. 7-3 goes on the hunt. EMP, first out from Easy Han. They find Vixa off the rip now. It's going to be the supports out. Fairly nicely done. The cleanup continues. Some extra picks, and Bellisria tries to make his way out. Seems like he's going to be just resetting off the side of the map.
So, 2 things here. One, payload distance dictates that if Fusion win a single fight with 5 ultimates, especially, okay, a little bit of a stag here in MN3. That actually might be a mistake. MN3 should be setting up invisible anyway, so actually he has no reason to reset. Not too sure why he died. But yeah, you know, payload distance is so far up that Fusion win 1 fight, they probably cap. Secondarily now, Valiant need to find this pulse again because they need to find more ways to get cheap fight wins as this looming sort of Damocles 5 ultimate push from Fusion ever draws near. And Fusion don't need to... 230 is fine. As long as they get 1 good fight win in 230 and get the push going, they have this on the lock.
Another hack. Spot him, but there's the EMP, and instantly the DPS fall over. Easy on and Becky just didn't see it coming. They both end up falling. Primal going to be popped here by Marvel. He's trying to pressure out Zest, but the healing comes through. Now he's going to be hacked himself, and he's going to just have to try to exit. Rally rolling. Langsa trying to keep everybody alive. The Nano invested in the Marvel as well as the blade gets pulled. Hack comes in, but he can still go ahead and slash away. That's going to do the supports now taken down. The cart just got 0.75 meters left to go. With Marvel falling, that should be it. Becky booped away. The cart advances, and that will be the closeout on the map. Philly Fusion answering back in kind after that catastrophic first map. They managed to tie it up 1-1.
Yeah, and I think for Valiant as well, the only hope of them kind of bringing that map back was to have a much better defense on A, but when you just see it shattered via Zest, who, by the way, will begin the offense by capping A and then also end the map by dismantling people with Blade on B. Philly Fusion playing some of their best obs right now, because I was maybe a little concerned that Zest would be stuck on Tracer duty the entire way through this meta, but no, he'll bring back the Genji, and that's what we want to see, because he is one of the better Genjis that we have in this region, one of the better Genjis we have in the world, in the entire Overwatch League, and the Philly Fusion would be able to pilot that Genji to great success. When you see Lynx and Mr. Whip Shot, Molly missed the sleep dart, Zest has it locked down, Zest has the cap.
Yeah, very nicely done here from the side of the Fusion. More of that is what they need if they want to be able to take this series away with relative ease. Otherwise, the Valiant still going to be looking to put up a hell of a fight. We'll see what happens, though, as we get ready to go into our third map, see who will be able to take the lead. It's going to be Escort. We'll head to Junkertown, see who's going to be moving up to match point after that one. So don't go anywhere, guys. The action continues in just a few. And we are back. It's time to carry on with this series. We're currently tied up 1-1 with the Fusion being able to pick up a win on Paraiso. Now we will be moving forward into our next map here as we go into Escort. It's going to be Junkertown to see who moves up 2-1.
That was much more comfortable for the Fusion. I think there was definitely left a bit to be desired in the gameplay on Oasis, and a comfortable comeback now for the Fusion on both attack and defense. A sub in for Fury as well. As we move over towards Escort, very common to move into a position where it's going to be a Sigma matchup, so should be Sashin coming in as... Actually, no, Marvel plays Sigma, doesn't he? So, yeah, wouldn't be the craziest thing to leave Marvel in there, as historically he's kind of bridged the gap between both. Dia for Easyhan? Oh, that means we're sniping? I mean, Easyhan can snipe as well, but Dia specifically is like a Widow specialist, so I'm glad that Dia gets a shot in this meta as well. Good to see him. Back on a
it's good. I was wondering if we were going to see him yesterday, but we didn't get blessed by his presence, so he will be coming through. And yes, of course, with Marvel still playing on the lineup here, that means that it's not going to be the Junker Queen for Junkertown, so we will just be getting to see Dia, in all likelihood, like you say, run some snipes.
To even sort of continue the meta discussion we were having at the game break, there is still a very small niche for Junker Queen. We saw Punk from Boston Uprising actually play it and win it versus Houston. And I think I've seen it at least once in Contender's career as well, who's also on the same Countdown Cup patch. So there's a very slight amount of room for even Junker Queen to still exist, which means, like, yeah, she's been pushed out of meta in terms of being the 100% pick, but still has something to do in here. We're just seeing so much more variety, which is great. And some substitutions as well that really leans into more of the specialist hero pools. And another test, I mean, it's another test for a team to be like, okay, well, you know, you can win on these other game modes, but now we have to play Sigma. Can you win on that as well?
Time will tell as we get ready to go in here. Get the gates unlocked and see who is going to be able to come out on top.
That's a T800 right there. It's that arm. So it's been sent back in time.
Just charred, burning away. Well, Fusion, like you said before the break, looking a lot more comfortable, shifting away from control. Definitely going to have to revisit their ideas and strategies when it comes down to running Rhine comps, or maybe that's just the end of it. Maybe we'll just never see the Rhine comp again. I don't know. They haven't really won too much. I'm trying to remember. They played it versus Smurf as well, but I can't remember if they beat. Pretty sure they lost to Soul in that. It was a Midtown Rhine matchup. I actually have I can't remember who won anymore, but I mean,
Midtown. Move into I think that actually was one of the Fusion Incident maps. We're far away from that now. They've actually gotten much better at that map in any case, as it's MN3 versus Dia. And Dia's talked about this specific matchup before. Okay, that was Molly would have felt the bullet whiz past his face. That actually could have been first blood right there. That was a clean opening shot onto Molly. But unfortunately, it will go wide.
Well, he first turned his eyes on Dia. Let's get rid of that Widowmaker. And speaking of Molly, okay, well, first blood. It's at his hands rather than at his cost. Finds Zest. Becky going to be traded up rather quickly, however. The cart might just still be able to advance forward here over the faster respawns, but okay, Dia gets a better of MN3. Nice little pop shot from him. Hits him in the head. Molly finds yet another one. Now Aim got taken down.
2 in a row there for Molly. And this is where your Zen player can really kick it into high gear and add to the damage. As Fusion will typically, okay, every attacking team is going to be able to get the payload into this position, but getting out of the kill box is the difficult part. Part of the relieving of the pressure has to come through from the Tracer. In this case, will be Zest. A lot of teams choose to play Tracer in the attack for purely the reason of having that sort of backline pressure, maybe get on top of Dia as well. The way that Choi got on top of Leave on Circuit might be required, and Dia's looking for it. He knows.
Oh, knows that he's around the back. Catches him in the chest, though. Not going to be the headshot that he was looking for. And MN3, he was going back and forth with Becky for a while. Does eventually manage to weave one shot through, so finds that elimination. So a bit of an opening here as we play some Ring Around the Rosie, and the Valiant go positioning back over towards the attacker spawn.
That's the problem, is that they've left the cart. Now the cart's moved way forward. So Valiant have to come back. Okay, that's a good kill to deal with.
What a shot. Right underneath the water tower, finds the kill. There's the Flux, a quick and easy one there set up for Dia. He's trying to get Aim God as well. It's going to be Lengza who manages to claim it. And what a retake here from the side of the Valiant. We're saying the cart's getting away from them, but they managed to retake it perfectly.
Someone has to sit on the payload now almost permanently because Zest can back cap at any point. So, Valiant, they do win it, they do recap, they do retake it. Dia does find the opening headshot into MN3, which is beautiful to see. The payload positioning sneaking away as far as this is not a positive point for the Valiant. With 130 left, I mean, Fusion win one fight, they cap. That's another dangerous position. You have to look at Fusion ultimates. They are very far ahead right now because Valiant have already spent. Fusion have not. That would have been a really good kill for Dia, but instead AimGod gets the kill to Becky.
Charge up, right click. Gets the kill there. MN3 finds
That
Dia.
might be the cap
Pressure
now.
alleviated. The DPS now going to be gone. Becky just now respawning, but Langsa dies as soon as he pops the window. And yeah, nothing to do there for Molly. So one quick little volley back. Some nice shots being hit here from MN3. And that is going to be the cap. So 333, make a wish as they get ready to push.
And that's the nightmare scenario I'm talking about, right? Because the payload was already shoved up. Fusion just need one good push. They actually have to burn 2 ultimates. So the silver lining is that for Valiant, they pop one window and they swap that for a window and a flux on the opposite end. So at least Valiant can walk away economically sound, at least in terms of that trade. The rest of the ultimates, we're still only looking at Blade Trance versus Trance Pulse Infrasight, and Infrasight is going to be important here for the Widow duel and also just for scouting out Becky on flanks and whatnot. So MN3 can pop that at his leisure at basically any point now.
Yeah, hasn't felt the need to go ahead and use it yet. Still just holds on to it. Got poking and prodding. Transcendent's going to be held by both of these Zenyatas. Pulse bomb in.
Okay.
Zest finds Becky now. Dia is well stuck in the corner. Zest, quick little blink in the melee hit. That's going to be 2 gone. Again, it's the DPS duo that gets broken down first and foremost. MN3 now just right out in the open. Knows that he doesn't have to worry about any kind of Widowmaker crossfire. So just looking for a target. We'll go ahead and reposition up onto the high ground. The payload is moving in. They're going to have to contest this here sooner rather than later. The drop down comes through. 1.43 meters left to go. Becky arriving, pulls the blade. The Transcendence in response. AimGod is there. Molly as well has his pop just to try to keep Becky alive. And he does so, but they don't find any kills. MN3 knows that the Widowmaker is just around the corner. It's actually Fixa who goes in for the chase, trying to find that elimination. It's Fury. There's a good amount of pressure applied to him, but it's still being kept alive.
Fixa nearly made a mistake there. He keeps himself alive, and Fury's on low HP now. The lamp has already been burned, and that means both of them will die as Langsa pops in the window, and the LA Valiant will hold strong. That was looking tricky for some time. Fixa went on to chase down Dia. Does not go well for him. Fusion nearly capped. I think Valiant touched within about 1.4 meters was the last I saw there. Nearly did not get the touch as Fusion shoved that payload right into the end of B. Valiant can afford a little bit of forward space here. Marvel will take it, but you can't get too far forward. Zest, again, at any point can back cap, and you can't risk that. So Valiant have to most likely give up this forward space, especially now.
Yeah, Becky gone. There's the stick again. Okay, the immortality field is there. I was going to say it's Dia dead again off the ramp alongside Becky, but does manage to survive for a little bit longer. But now Zest opened up here on the back lines, tries to move forward, and no, I thought it was going to be the Zenyatta orbs that caught him, but it's actually Dia with a nice little headshot. Pressure still being applied, but he turns to the right side, finds him in 3, and now he's unleashed. He's looking for Fixa. It's quite a bit of damage. It's going to make him think twice about that peek. Goes back out for it once more as the Fusion start making their way forward towards the cart again. It's being brought up.
The cat moving on forward.
Yep, the Infrasight.
They have to move forward. They have to move up.
Gone. They need to, but Langsa had died already, so they're still completely split squad with the supports. They don't have them, but Dia still continues to do some solid work. Flicks over to the side. He's trying to get in behind them. Can he stop this cap from coming through? Blade going to be pulled. Becky trying to stave them off. A final slash would finish off Fury. He gets him. Blade going to be resheathed, dashes through, finds Fixa, who jumps up onto the high ground. Zest dead. Dia, he finds another headshot. Fixa trying to win out the fight. The deflect is up, and he manages to take him down. And the card is going to be held. AimGod's going to fall, and then with 8 seconds remaining, they saved it. Dia, he just saved the whole thing.
And Becky as well. Becky stayed on the payload. Becky did not allow the C9 to occur. He'll get the kill to MN3. It's a combination of Dia on the big boy flank, the Pine flank you'll remember from the moments in 2018. Backed by Becky, maintaining pressure on the payload despite Marvel not being there. And the combination of the 2 DPSs keeps it alive. I mean, that was brilliant.
When we use the word clutch, that's what we're talking about.
We're talking about vehicles and manual transmissions.
Yeah, talking about manual transmissions. None of that automatic nonsense. No, I can't drive clutch for the hell of me. But, I mean, yeah, cool. Zest, he goes in, he gets this kill. Dia can't get away from the or actually.
Wait, Becky jumped into it.
Becky dove onto it. Now I see why. Okay.
Get
All
down,
right.
Mr. President. He jumps on top of the. He jumps on top of the live frag. Like Captain America
Like,
in the first movie, but except that was a dummy and this one was real.
There's a great. I don't know if you've ever watched 5-second films, but they're an old school YouTube channel that used to run when I was in high school, and they have a great all of their videos are like 5-second long, and they have one where it's a guy jumps on top of a grenade. He's like, "Get down!" And he jumps on top of it, and then he blows up and dies. And they zoom out, and he was the only person near the grenade. Everyone else is like 50 feet back, and they're like, "Who did he save?" And they're like, "No one. They didn't save anybody." That was Becky in that moment. But he made up for it. He had a blunder, and then he had an incredible play to hold the cart in place. Nice opening shot here from him in 3.
Thankfully, Molly's respawn is right there, so you're okay with that for now if you're Valiant. Somehow, by the way, you're not okay with that. Fury dying there is unacceptable. That's actually kind of wild.
Catastrophic, but
Inventory at least trades.
Yeah. The cart, however, still advances. Fury, it's got a long, floaty run back.
Zest on 1.
Yeah, moves up into the death position. Nice dink. Just find Marvel for a shot. But it's not enough to pressure him out, so the cart will go ahead and move out into the open. This is where things can get a little bit more dicey for the side of the Fusion trying to hold this. With the kill on the Becky though.
Went a little far.
That's the Valiant. Okay, they're willing to pull back.
Becky was going towards the Fusion spawn. He was a little bit too far up on that one. Can't spawn camp a Sigma. And I guess the only sort of thing to look at here is the fact that Lynxa is significantly far ahead of Fixer, which will allow them to break the deadlock via the Matrix, as both Sigmas will hold out their hand in front of each other.
Yep, finds him in 3, but Molly going to be taken down off screen as we have the Tracer battle happening here, and Becky ends up falling. Zest nicely handled. Those kills as Fury continues to hold the cart in place.
This is like
the jump shot attempt.
One step forward.
Not gonna find anything.
1 step forward, 2 steps back for Valiant in a way, right? Because Dia gets these kills, but then his teammates start dying around them. So they can't quite build the player advantage, and now Dia's getting fragged as well. So Valiant are being shoved back in spawn quite aggressively.
And this is much needed stability here from the side of the Fusion. Gave up so much space early with that death from Fury. But now they've completely retaken it. The cart rolling back now.
Which is a shame because the payload moving out of the kill box is super important for attacking teams. Valiant, this is why Valiant are also spending a lot of time not playing main. They're trying to play, both the left and right side flanks. Another kill to Fury.
No one can hide.
And Fury was on 99% as well.
That he was. Big window of opportunity here now for the side of the Valiant. A lot of space being given up because of the infrasights. Dia's been nailing his shot, so you have to give that respect.
And they know how far away Fury is. Based on the infra side, they know the distance required. So if it's going to be a retake, they got to go now. Zest has gone in.
He tries to go for the touch, but that's just going to be it. The cap comes through. MN3 taken down in the flank. And yeah, Zest taking that much damage forces him in the recall. That means they cannot go for that. So it's going to be a very long hold if the Fusion want to be walking away with match point under their belts.
I have a sneaking suspicion it was a Dia headshot onto Fury, with then Marvel cleaning it up with just his regular left clicks, right? Because I otherwise do not see how Fury just dies like that on his initial death or his secondary death. Yeah. That allows, look at Fusion's ult. They didn't get to play any of those ultimates on A. They otherwise would have had a great A4 defense, and now, staring a potential loss on this map in front of their face with 3 minutes remaining, Valiant just have to get to the end of B. Valiant themselves still have plenty of ultimates to play through.
It's 4-3 as far as the ults are concerned, with Fusion in that lead, but Valiant has been giving up a lot of distance here. Or been given, rather, a lot of distance. So the Fusion just have not been playing the cart. Got stopped now, just
Valiant back
underneath
out.
the bridge.
They window, but they back out.
Yeah, puzzling. The window usage today has been head-scratching, to say
And it's
the
not,
least.
and Fixer didn't even counter window on the other side. I don't know, it was just like, multi-flank pressure. Now here comes the Flux.
Yep, there's the Flux, there's the Trance. Dia gets him in 3. An opening, and that's 2 of those ults gone. Game God, however, finding Becky. Just trying to harass him out, trying to maybe force the Transcendence here ahead of Marvel's own Flux, but to no avail.
Yeah, they're just getting small gains here. Oh my goodness, Dia is still popping off.
Yep.
I've not been keeping score so far at Kilios, but I have to gather that Dia's killed him in 3 a lot more than the other way around.
I would say that is a very safe bet. Becky this time just get the better of Zest. Finishes him with a melee hit. Becky now just 5% away from having that pulse ready to go, and Becky's still applying pressure here. The pulse bomb goes in. MN3 down low on HP. A little bit of healing going his way, but Marvel eventually manages to help finish the job. 2 kills, the Transcendence just to get the touch, just to rejoin in here with Fury to try to keep him alive. Chest shot goes across. Zest forced to recall again. The pulse bomb from him, 4% away. Desperately needs this to try to open up this defense, try to create some more space, but now Fury is going to be gone. 1.67 meters is all that is left. Zest finds Marvel, but the cleanup is there. The cap comes through, and the Valiant now move up 2-1. Match point is theirs.
And I don't think it's any surprise, but Dia was the kill leader for that entire lobby, for that entire map. 11 final blows. Next afterwards was Becky on 9, then Zest on 8. Unfortunately, I don't know how this was happening, but MN3 was getting fragged out by Dia. And just the addition of having Dia's damage output, the kill pressure, you'll notice that he kills MN3 and then somebody else afterwards. Even if he's not getting the final blow, he's chunking Fury down to minimal HP, which I believe was how Valiant even got the A cap in the first place, which was kind of backbreaking for the Fusion, considering they had 4 ultimates that they couldn't even use. LA Valiant, off the back of some fine sniping led by Dia, just get them across the board and now give them a, 2-1 match point. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Very nicely done here from the Valiant, who just look completely reinvigorated in this meta. Fusion, onus on them now to try to answer back. We'll see if they're going to be able to get it done. And they have to play, just go all in the next map. It's going to be Colosseo, the potential decider here to see if the Valiant can rack up a 5th win, or if the Fusion will be able to fight back and give us yet another Map 5 series. We're going to find out in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere, guys. Push comes up in just a few. And we are back. We are going into what could very well be the last map of this series. The Valiant currently in the lead 2-1 after their win on Junkertown and after a heroic Widowmaker performance from Dia. Absolutely impeccable from him and the rest of the squad. Now we move into Colosseo to see whether or not the Fusion can deliver us into yet another 5-map series.
I gotta say as well, this is an important game. This entire stage is important for the Philadelphia Fusion because they are neck and neck tied with the Hangzhou Spark at 12 points. Now, Spark just lost their opening match versus Chengdu, which I'm sure Fusion had a lot to celebrate about. But that means nothing if they then lose to Valiant themselves, and both teams remain tied by losing their opening matches. Only one of these two teams can make that third place position and get a basically not free entry because they had to work for it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they get entry directly into playoffs and don't have to play through the play-ins. The loser of that tiebreaker is going to have to go through play-ins, which is a lot more difficult. So, yeah, I mean, Fusion need any sort of points, any sort of wins they can get to get ahead of the Hangzhou Spark. And this matchup is currently not looking amazing. However, Colosseo now on board. Bit of a change-up in the lineup for the LA Valiant. EasyHunt in. Sashin comes in as well. I have to suspect we're going to be playing a decent amount of Zarya. I mean, Fury is still here. Can't be Sigma, so Zarya seems like the most obvious call for me.
Yeah.
And EasyHunt could play either Sombra, he could play some Sojin here. We could see some Reaper coming through as well. Questions to be answered. I have some faith that Fusion can take us to a 5. I mean, what did I say again? The last 2 matches in a row between these two teams have gone to 5. Yeah, make it 3 in a row. Why not?
Well, why the hell not? We'll find out, though. See what they're going to be playing with, but I think the Zarya is definitely a good shout from there. Suspect we'll probably have some Sombra action coming through as well, perhaps. Granted, well, you don't have a dive, so maybe not. I think for the Fusion, though, probably wishing that they had gotten, drafted New Queen Street in this series, just given their proficiency on that one compared to Colosseo. But let's see what happens.
Well, you got to get good at Colosseo at some point. And
tell that to the Chengdu Hunters.
5, 4, 3.
Do they usually win or lose Colosseo? I can't remember.
Lose.
Didn't they win a recent Colosseo? Am I crazy?
Oh wait, no, sorry. Chengdu Hunters,
no,
they lose New Queen Street. They're good. They're great at Colosseo. Never mind.
Right.
It's getting late.
I was gonna say to you, like they demolished Hangzhou Spark on that. Okay, well,
yeah, they're the kings of Colosseo. I don't know what I'm talking about.
This kind of matchup. I actually think Zest now discovering that it is the matchup in terms of the Zaryas, which you should know because it's Session. You would actually maybe prefer the Tracer here, just for a bit of backline pressure. The Sojins make a lot of sense. I think Sojin has a great sort of matchup into the Zaryas. So let's see how this goes.
Well, opening skirmishes, Sashin getting out pressured as soon as that Reaper shows up, wants to back away. Zest getting pushed forward. He's got the Wraith walked out, takes him up to safety as MN3 takes a nasty shot from EasyHunt. Currently does have the lead, and I mean, look at Becky. He has been feasting. He's 86%, will die. Picks up finally able to put an end to the onslaught, but it's not without cost. Zest does end up going down, but they will find Sashin. So that's going to be a good breakthrough here for the 7th Fusion to get this bot pushing.
He really cursed Becky there, didn't he? He's just straight like, line of sight of Zest. I saw Sashin get low, though. I think that was the problem with Sashin getting quite low. And eventually Valiant getting run over there. But with Becky on the trade back instantly, I mean, you just see the value of a Tracer, especially unmatched. Right, there's no Brig on Philly Fusion. No other Tracer to match the angles and, prevent the flanks rather. And we already know how good Becky's Tracer has been over the course of just this series, but also yesterday versus Soul. All Sashin slept, but he's okay. Nano's online for Aim God now.
And it is Fury. Gets stopped back up. Recalls right in front of Fury's face, actually, but it's going to be Aim God.
Now the Nano's offline.
EasyHunt. Yeah, nice little rail shot. Gets him in the head. Bubble going to be popping
It's
Fury in the corner.
What?
And yeah, he's just going to end up going down. It is indeed a Busio, and Langza, well, he puts it to good use. He does fine to kill, but now Sashin's going to be dead. Langza dies as soon as the Nano Boost is over, and the Pulse Bomb goes wide.
What is going on?
So while the fight started looking really great, EasyHunt has the opening pick. It all comes tumbling down. Fusion, they win it out.
The Valiant they gift that one to Fusion. They just wrap it up and tie a bow and just, here you go, Fusion, here's a fight. What? Did Lynx jump in the LOS of Molly and Molly kind of he was going for somebody else and Lynx just happened to get in the way?
Surely.
Because your
That had
Sash,
to have
your
been
Sash
what
and
occurred.
Easy Han, you're left wanting there like, hello, I would have loved to have that Nano, and that just does not go well for them.
Okay, grab around the corner, catches Sash, and they're trying to keep him alive. Bubbles off that ante, and actually does manage to stay alive. He's in the fight now. He's got to grab of his own. Lets it loose. TP to the side. Zest goes up onto the high ground, trying to chase down Easy Han. Gets pushed away. Nice there from Langs, just keeping him at arm's length. But now the Death Blossom gets unleashed, and it's 2 quick kills picked up. Raid's Walk not available, so he cannot get out of there safely. Langs will be able to get the punish in the end. Bot, in the meantime, has gained a little bit of extra distance here for the side of the Fusion, now up at nearly 38 meters.
Well, Valiant will eat that Death Blossom. Zest has finally died again, and no change. So he definitely wants to stay on the Reaper. So stick to the game plan. So I think if you're Becky, you're fine with this one. You probably prefer that. There's no Tracer challenging you. Good news for Valiant is they still have a couple of ultimates on board, and they haven't allowed the Fusion to get too much distance. 37 is good, but it's not going to be round-defining, map-defining just yet.
No, certainly not. Sound very out from Lang to start things off. Pulse bomb into the back, finds him in 3. Good kill there from the side of the Valiant. Zest as well, going to be going low. Manages to get top back up. Nano still held here from Valiant. They struggle to get out of this neutral position. Zest, Becky just somehow kind of whiffing on his tracking there for a moment, but as he gets the reset, goes back through, manages to finish the job, finds the kill. Fury nanoed up, trying to keep him alive. High energy here from him. Sasha as well, going to be nanoed. Pops a bubble, keeps himself safe for a moment. As you can see, I mean, just wild aiming coming through. Fury just desperately trying to track a target, but just can't quite nail one down. Ends up crumbling under the pressure. Fixa now gone, and that is going to be a nice push here from the side of the Valiant. This is their moment to take the lead.
And a flip as well. Extra pulse into play, probably unrequired there, but Valiant just want to continue the snowball, and they will continue that one quite aggressively now in towards the spawn. Grav will only get the 1 kill as Sasha gets slept, and Fury want to have a Grav online himself. So in terms of Valiant finding this cap, look, they can still get there. About 10 meters off now, Fusion desperately awaiting respawns. They can sort of beat Grav, engage this one, and they're probably going to have to if they want to stop the cap.
I don't think they're going to be able to. It's still just free pushing, so I think they're just going to give out. Yep, there it is.
It's gone.
Cap does come through. Forward spawns now established here for the side of the Valiant. Fusion now make their move, and the Valiant say, okay, we're more than happy with that. They've nearly doubled the distance.
That's all they need. That's all they need. Just to get the cap, reset back into neutral. Fighting around the cap is a very poor position for Valiant, right? That's not a good place to fight at all. So they achieve their goal, get the cap. Fusion do not get to contest. Now they play the grab.
Solo grab. MN3 finishes it with a rail shot. Becky going down. Fusion continuing to break this open a little bit more. Fury will find 2. TP forward, Zest trying to get into a cheeky position. Does nearly have that next Death Blossom ready to go. Slept but woke it up. Easy Han sliding away. Does manage to stay alive. Bot now going to be pushing again here for the side of the Fusion, but they have to make it all the way to the checkpoint just to be able to get the tie.
Then Nano Zest, he's going to go in. Death Blossom.
He's going for
Thinking about it.
Gets Sasha. Actually, no, he's just running to dry. Doesn't even need the Death Blossom. He just holds on to it for a future fight. Says, okay, single ult invest, and just guns down 3 people in the streets.
Just runs at them. No speed boost, nothing. Plus 4 gaming right there. Yeah, looking like it. Valiant are not currently there to contest, even if they were. Fusion are very far from the bridge, so well done. Fusion win a couple of fights in a row. That's got to be enough.
He gets his ult cancelled. And here comes Zest. He was hiding in the back. Finds 1. Not going to be the flashiest Death Blossom in the world, but
Halo
it gets the job done. And now allows them to start moving forward even further. Now Sasha take it down. Lang's it. I mean, just getting bled dry right now. Becky was the one keeping it contested, but now the bot will just go ahead and move in. Checkpoint obtained. Wow. They are not disengaging from this position.
Okay, well, Fusion about to take the lead now. And there you go, they got the lead. So Fusion feeling much more comfortable now on this map than they were just a couple minutes ago.
Ooh. Second overclock cancel, and there it is. Becky manages to chase in. Shuts him down just like it happened to Easy Han before. Becky finds a follow-up kill and got eliminated. Easy Han headshot onto Fury. So they lose the lead. Fusion holding on by a thread here, just 9 meters up. The Valiant will be able to wrest the bot away from them.
11 meters, okay. Just under 3 minutes for 11 meters.
Yes, 11.
Valiant
I did math
win
poorly.
You need to see Valiant win about, I would say, 2 fights here for sure. This is number 1, then another number 2 later. So Grav can be enough, so that it will be a Grav exchange. I think both will probably burn it.
Okay, grabs out, pulse bomb in. Becky finds him in 3. Sasha, however, going to be taken out. It's going to be the front line broken down now. ZZ Han receives an Ana boost just to be able to stay alive. Zest as well, as you say, receiving it. The sleep connects. They get on top of Easy Han. They try to push him away, but it's not going to be enough. Fury finishes the job. Zest goes chasing forward once more, looking for some extra kills. Doesn't want to overstep, though. Sasha is back. Those bubbles chew up a lot of the damage that Zest offers. But the bot for now is staying on this side of the map.
Yeah, it's all the way back to where it was at the beginning. And Valiant have to win this fight, plus another fight in the mid, probably. This is just increasing the amount of fights that Valiant have to get through. The grab exchange goes so much better for Fusion. Sash is just deleted.
Yeah, beat gets dropped in. Lang's dead as well. Cleanup continues.
More distance for Fusion.
Does fall. Okay, but they're going to have the forward spawns back here in just a moment as Easyland dies. So, Zest will be able to join in. Actually, he might have just missed. No, I think they got it.
We're looking at 90 meters now.
Too far split.
And the split aside, I mean, look at Fusion's position. They could just back out behind them at any point they want. They don't have to take this fight. Indeed, they are going to back out. But they sneak 89-42, so not quite 90, but it might as well be. And so the Fusion, they understand the game plan here. It's, you sneak some meters, you reset back to the mid. The Valiant have to win a bunch of fights now with far less time. We talked about it being 3 minutes before. Now we're just down to 1. This will definitely go into the OT where Valiant are going to have to make a miracle push.
I mean, ults are going to be good from both teams here. In just a moment, Langs and Amelia with the sound barrier. It's going to be critical for them to try to survive the oncoming Graviton surge that Fury is about to have.
Oh, good bubble.
Fury does end up falling. Easy Han finding 1, but then gets beamed down. Fury's just been looking immaculate on this Zarya so far. There's a rush forward, and Zest saying, nope, it's not the moment. Holds onto the Death Blossom even further. Pulse bomb
he steals the payload even as a Reaper.
He does find it, though. Becky gets rid of Fix-Up. Imgod just now respawning, so they are without supports right now in this position, so they're going to have to pull away.
Yeah, but Zest stole the payload. He does this all the time as a Tracer. Doesn't change the game plan as a Reaper. And Valiant, for all of that effort, back to square one. Back to the same neutral in mid. And it's not quite a grab on life assassin. Lanxa will have the sound barrier online.
They can beat the grab to survive. Oh, maybe it doesn't even matter. Death Blossom goes through the sound barriers in response to that. Now the grab's still held by Fury. Catches Sashin. Overclock popped as well by MN3.
That'll be the map.
And it seems like this is going to be taking us into map 5. Yep, the headshot goes across MN3. Just gunning down 2 here to get the finisher. The OT will bleed away. Fusion. It might not be New Queen Street, but Coliseum still looking quite good for them. They pick up the win. That ties it up at 2-2. That's one last round of control to settle it all.
Man, I feel like I called it there. I had this kind of inkling, this gut feeling that we were going to go to 5. Valiant can't help themselves.
It's Valiant, so.
The map 5 team, we got to get there. And the craziest thing about this map is I'm just noticing one very cool kind of stat line here, is the Fusion actually did less overall damage than LA Valiant as far as full team damage goes. 30,013 versus 30,343. So only about 330 damage difference there. But they have a full, how many is it? 14 final blows ahead of the Valiant, despite doing 330 damage less overall. So kill confirmations from the Fusion, really pristine on that map.
Well, they take it all the way. We go the distance, but now we go back to control the map that really set the stage for this series in the Valiant's favor. It's a bit more neutral this time around, but we'll see what happens. Something tells me that we're not going to be seeing the Rhine comps coming through as we do get ready to go into Nepal, but we'll have to just wait and see. Village is always a decent shout for that to come in, so we'll see if they can get the read once more here for the side of the Valiant and what the Fusion want to do. That's going to be coming up in just a few minutes, guys. Back-to-back Game 5s. We'll see who walks away victorious at the end of it all when we return from the break. And we are back, and we're once more going into a map number 5. 2 series in a row, and who would have thought that, coming into today, the Charge playing, the Valiant playing, that the El Clasico series at the beginning of it all would have been the most disappointing one because it was a 3-0 blowout. Here we are.
Well,
we've got 2 incredible series off the back end of that.
About Seoul and Shanghai, aside from the Grand Finals, which was legitimately a pretty damn good game, the other 3 most recent, so of their 4 most recent games, of which one was a Grand Final, aside from the Grand Finals, the other 3 have all been 3-0s. So I don't know what it is between these 2 teams. And it's not even like, oh, Shanghai always dominate. No, Seoul have won some of them too. So it's hard to tell between those guys sometimes. But now we move into map 5 here, our second map 5. 5 map Saturday, that's how it goes, right? Isn't it?
Sure.
Balestria back in full fury as we head into a control map in Nepal. That is also going to signal Marvel coming in for Sashin. And before anybody celebrates for Fusion just yet, just remember, Oasis did go the way of Valiant.
Yep.
Marvel has been pretty reasonable for the Valiant for dive compositions, and generally speaking, dive has been pretty damn good for the Valiant as well. Even though, by the way, I mean, I can't discount the fact that Junkertown was there and Dia kind of carried. We don't have Dia in here at the moment for the Widowmaker, but that's aside the point. I am interested in seeing how these teams navigate Nepal now. Like, what is MN3 going to play? Is he back over towards the Sombra? Is he back over towards the Sombra? That actually might be a positive thing for Fusion, because I think MN3 Sombra has been maybe slightly ahead of Easyhan, and that was specifically the case on, I'm trying to remember the map, Paraíso. MN3 Sombra was way ahead of Easyhan, so if we get into like a Sombra matchup again, that's probably a good thing for the Fusion.
We'll see if that happens as we get ready to begin. Let's see what these comps are going to look like as we jump into Nepal. Everything to play for now. Again, with a map 5, we saw, in the previous series, the Charge trying to pull off that reverse sweep. It did go all the way to a 3rd and final round. That was Oasis that closed it out. Let's see if that happens here with Nepal to finish, as we are on Shrine first and foremost.
5,
Alrighty, well,
3, 2.
real comps coming on through, looking like a double Sombras, Balestria. Nah, of course not.
Yep. Just keeps
Traces,
trolling.
okay. Complete mirror. Alright. So, no, well, I think does he go for like an early shift out of spawn then back to Winston? I'm not too sure. So there's that interaction where you can like commanding shout out of spawn. I don't know if that's what he's doing though. Take a look at the opening hacks.
Either way. Hack starting to fly. Becky receiving one and instantly gets melted down. Balestria finding the first blood. And for the follow-up hack, but it's actually going to be Easyhan finding MN3. Easyhan takes a hell of a lot of damage in reply, though. MN3 just going to translocate out of there. Marvel now going to be antied out. They push forward. They're looking for the eliminations.
Oh my god, he lived.
Just a moment. They do not get the kill. Yeah. Marvel stays alive somehow, some way. Zest kind of getting bogged down there on the pillar for just a brief moment. Does manage to make his way out to safety. Becky gets hacked himself. Seems like he's going to be able to stay alive, though. HP bar is low. Fusion with the initial lockdown, 15% ticking up.
That's the thing, right? Fusion have the initial cap, and Valiant, despite staying alive and all the good stuff that they're doing, they need to get the flip. They have a 5v4 now, legitimately. Double supports down.
They have no supports now. Zest, pulse bomb held, but he's just making his exit. MN3 getting spy checked at point blank.
Okay.
And Becky oversteps just a little bit too much. With Balestria going down, however, the flip will be there. 33% locked in for the side of the Fusion. Valiant now in control.
EMP online first for MN3, so again, it's this very slight damage differential that's allowing MN3 to get ahead. I say slight, it's 20%, but it's only about 200 damage. Pulse from Zesto, what is that?
Yeah, a huge one. That stops Langza, who was about to have the rally available. And got hacked and under a little bit of fire in the back lines, and actually Easyhan's going to be able to solo him down. Maybe not quite so solo. Marvel was over in that way. The flip nearly there, but again, it's going to be the supports taken out of the equation. Tank on, however, Balestria holds on to the primal rage. EMP invested, they find Easyhan. They make sure that he can't reply with one of his own. They get that kill. Becky's still going to be hacked here. Rally now rolling, though, as Langza has rejoined. The Valiant maintain control at this point for now. Becky dashing around, looking for a target spot. Zest there for a brief moment. The Nano Boost actually going to be invested onto him. They want to be able to win this fight. He turns his sights now back over onto the supports who have just re-arrived, and Fixa will be able to shut him down with a whip shot, and that's enough for the flip to happen.
Now we wait for Easyhan to put the EMP into play. All the support ultimates burn from the LA Valiant. Primal to try and keep the point alive as well. Rally about to be online for Fixa. Easyhan spotted. That's actually really big from the fusion. That will prevent the EMP or delay it for now.
Much better.
And Easyhan has to wait for the invisible before he can go back in. So time wastage does count.
I mean, that stops him from striking while Belzria was still out of the fight. Comes around the corner, finds both of the supports, and they instantly die. I mean, it's the third time now that the Fusion have lost both supports off the rip. Zest able to find one with a pulse bomb, but that's not going to be good enough. He's still looking to hold this one out. Marvel jumping onto the high ground, does end up falling. MN3 finds the elimination, but now the flip is going to be coming through as Fusion get the 70%.
Well, there it is. 20% ahead is the Fusion. Counting down, obviously. Making Pulse. Does find Fixa. That will delay things further for the Fusion. And that will guarantee, by the way, the 70% equalization on the cap itself. But now Valiant are fully out of ults, and Fixa will come back with Rally on board. And Fusion winning one more fight will force the 99% OT. So Valiant need another frag. They need another opening pick. They need more pressure on the Fusion. And they are trying to kind of camping this opening choke. Here we go.
Becky hiding out around the corner. They're calling for the dive here onto Molly. They're trying to take him down. Still going to be hacked out. They haven't been able to finish him off yet. Marvel as well. Sliver of HP. Finally falls. Hack there onto the Mega Pack. Fusion need to make their way onto the point. They start doing so now. Flanks up under pressure. Ends up dying. It's just going to be Aim God dead so far for the side of the Fusion as they look for the flip. They went out the quote-unquote final fight here. As Valiant hit 99%. Fusion get ready to gain control.
Look at this, though. MN3 didn't pop the EMP. That's really important because now we can save it for what was going to be the final fight. Had Valiant been able to pressure out the EMP, this would be a different landscape entirely. Becky narrowly dodging out the hack, but now the recall's been popped as well. MN3 revealed his positioning. The EMP still is going to be the key tool.
Fixes that.
And has to come through.
Okay, EMP does connect. Finds 3. It's going to be both supports, but the damage not there enough right now. Becky finds Aim God as well, but both supports gone now for the 4th time in this map. We have to try to fight through. Anteed out, Belzria pops the Primal Rage, manages to stay alive. Becky still holds on to the pulse bomb. They could just go ahead and finish the job. 99% forced out. MN3 playing forward here on the point, just making sure that they cannot get this flip across. EMP goes out. Really finding too much, but Zest does end up dying with the shield bash. Becky now, once more, going to be nanoed up. Is looking to rip apart Belzria, and it is working a treat. He and Marvel together manage to take down the enemy Winston. The OT will bleed down, and it's 100 to 99%.
Wow. How on earth was Becky able to get so much damage and kills done when MN3 pops EMP? And MN3's EMP catches Marvel, links to Molly, the whole backline plus tank. And while that's happening, Fusion are down 2 members. Now granted, one of them actually died before the EMP came on through. It's a 4v5 for the Philadelphia Fusion, but they still got to make the play happen because we're into the final fight. And really, the EMP should have turned around. The EMP should have at minimum traded, but it did not. That is so crazy to me. And the fight continues. Valiant eventually just have superior numbers. Point control, Nano onto Becky to get the damage done. And Philly Fusion reeling from that loss. And, you know, MN3 did the best he could. MN3 actually has 0 deaths, by the way. He hasn't died on that entire shrine, but that's not going to be good enough to win you the round, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, again, mirrored as we move into Sanctum. The jump forward, going to apply some pressure. Marvel's doing very much the same. Sleep Dart does come across before the bubble goes up, but Aim God still ends up getting taken down. Molly with a huge ante previously as well, as Becky just continues to feast. 2 more kills picked up for him. MN3 dashing out, making sure that he stays alive for a little bit longer at the very least, but it's going to be Easyhan with a massive lead towards that EMP.
3-man Molly Bione, though. I think that's the key point of all of this. And Molly's done a great job of surviving. We saw multiple dives from Fusion on that shrine map as well, where Molly just lived for way too long. And now he confirms a massive play that will give Valiant and Becky a bunch of kills. Pulse is online nearly for both of these traces about to be coming up.
MN3 could be dead. He just can't stay in these fights. He can't build up towards the EMP. It's just taking him so damn long.
Easyhan so far ahead.
Yeah. 30% up right now. Pulse bomb down. Zest almost dead. Gets the recall off just in time. Stays alive, but Valiant Already about a third of the way there. The jump forward, Marvel taking quite a bit of damage.
Marvel?
The ante is huge. They need to finish the job. They haven't been able to confirm these kills, and somehow he makes it out. He grabs the Mega Pack. He will eventually die, but it's still a cause for concern. Zihan staying alive, receiving that health pack there from Langza. EMP nearly online, but Belsria goes in, finishes the job, gets that kill. Now the flip is there. 43%, however, set up to the side of the Valiant as MN3 takes his first death.
I mean, look, Marvel finally dying is a positive change for the Philadelphia Fusion. He's been getting away with murder multiple times on multiple maps where he just is unable to be killed on a sliver of HP for shades of Oasis City Center. Fusion, though, trying to climb back in. Big ultimates on both sides. Zest far ahead of Becky. But the MN3 EMP is what they need. It's still 6% away. Pre-rally this fight is Linksa. Get ready for it.
Okay, EMP goes out from Easyhan. Belsria hits the floor. The jump in, Marvel, now Primal online. By a hell of a lot of time and a hell of a lot of space. They know that they can't surrender this one. They haven't even equalized the percentage gain here on the point yet. Marvel will make his exit. A hack comes down. Zest with quite a bit of damage. Does manage to stay alive, however. Dashes to the back, 22 HP, pops a recall, still in a precarious spot. EMP up over the top. It's only going to catch Becky, but it's good enough for the kill. Anti goes out, however. Managing to find two. Vix and Zest somehow stay alive, though. And Marvel gets slept as he jumps into the back. They know they can't deal with him, but they can make him reroute. Leaps over towards the Mega, stays alive. And the Fusion, they barely scrape by with a lead. Another big anti-nade.
Marvel has still
got and MN3 continue to get clipped by these.
Has to run away again. Could be a stick, not quite. Molly lives. Philadelphia leading though. Could be final fight pretty soon. We're nearly on the 80%. Valiant are coming up towards ultimates. And Easyhan, no, dead. Can't get away.
Yep, just a bit too shy with that translocator out, but Belsria will get traded to Marvel. Going to be coming back through. Does have that primal rage to go ahead and extend the fight. Langza under pressure. Aim God actually going to be the one who finds the kill.
90%.
So now down to support. Pulse bomb out from Becky. Not going to be able to find a damn thing. 93%. The primal rage pops. Marvel trying to juggle around the Tracer, trying to juggle around anybody. Just trying to knock somebody into the pit, but instead he's bogged himself down next to the stairwell. Makes his jump out over to safety. Managing to stay alive. The OT is bleeding down. The touch is there. Becky forces the reset. Easyhan nearly to the EMP. 2% left to go. He's going to have to let this rip. And they're going to have to find the follow-up damage, but Marvel is going to fall first. The EMP strikes, it hits everybody, and suddenly the kills start flying through for the side of the Valiant. This map is not done yet. This round is not done yet. They chase in, they look for Belsria. Becky takes a recall out. It looks like Belsria will be able to survive, but the Valiant, they get the flip.
Yeah, Marvel dies, but the EMP saves the day for the Valiant. You see how many of those molly nades as well coming in specifically to keep Marvel alive. At this point, he's not even going for offensive nades. He's just popping them on top of Marvel. And Marvel staying on the point, keeping it going, trading positions with Becky. They ping-pong that point for as long as possible, and they keep it up, buying time. But he's going to find an EMP. That was gorgeous from the Valiant. But can they win more fights? Because here comes EMP onto the back line. Molly lives.
Lynx is dead. Yeah, Molly still staying alive, but that's going to be the rally taken out of the equation. So if they can get the flip right now, it's still going to be a good look. And yeah, Valiant not contesting it. Nano goes out for Molly, goes on to Easyhan. It doesn't go to Marvel, and Marvel gets melted down. Vix is still going to be taken out of the fight, however. Easyhan makes use of it by finding him in 3. The flip back, nearly there for the side of the Valiant, and they need it to happen. Becky currently occupying the point by himself. Zest barely manages to re-arrive. Keeps this one contested, keeps it at 99%. They trade places. He leaves the post bomb behind, and Langza is dead. Belsria now tagged in. Onto the point, Primal pop. Zest comes up with a second kill. He's looking for a little bit more. The EMP strikes from Easyhan. He manages to find 3, but it's not going to be good enough. The point has been cleared, and we are going the distance. Village, again, will now decide it all. It's a 3rd round in the 5th map.
Wow.
All 4 teams playing in the last 2 series of the evening, not going down without a fight.
It's both teams tugging at the heartstrings of their fan bases, but Zest dagger through the heart of the LA Valiant there with the pulse bomb. So good. 2 kills, final engagement. And it'll get Fusion across the line. Great effort by Valiant to try and recover, but Fusion had such an insane lead, and we're going back over towards the Rhine. Fusion are not going to bite, though. We'll see. No, they're not going to do it. Sombra,
yeah,
Winston, Tracer. Will they go back? They spot it. Okay, look at this now. Fusion are going back. What are they going to pick? What are they going to pick? Pharah, maybe? Are they going to do the Chengdu thing? Are they going to go far, or are they going to match the Rhine? That's the question.
We saw just yesterday
No, they're not swapping. They're not swapping.
They're not making any swaps. They actually just retreat. They want to reroute. They don't want to meet this face on, but they're going to have to eventually.
Okay, if they play into this, Zest is actually... Not Zest. EasyCon's actually on the wrong hero here.
Langs is slapped.
He needs to swap over towards a Cassie or something.
Okay, Langs is staying alive. The Mortality Field very much helps. First lockdown to the point, going to be there. The Valiant now ticking up. Zest drops down, starts spamming out the right clicks as best as possible.
Wall.
The wall goes up. Belisria locked in for a moment, but they actually take the TP away. So they don't get the punish here. Immediately onto the Winston. Easy Hunt under a hell of a lot of pressure, and Zest eventually gets the better of him. Marvel able to find one in response. Becky gets aim god. That's the support's gone, and once more. Just unable to stay alive. Zest poking and prodding eventually will die, and I don't know if this is going to cut it as far as the comp is concerned.
Becky did so much damage, 72%. The Blizzard is really key here because Fusion cannot dive on the point. They cannot dive into Valiant when the Blizzard is active. Such an important ult. EasyCon's also, by the way, opted to stay on the Symmetra. I don't know if that's the right call to make, but EasyCon trusts it. Valiant trusts it. He is going to be the target. Fusion should get on top of EasyCon every single fight as a primary kill that they have to get. With EasyCon down, most of the damage is gone.
Blade nearly up. Zest actually now starting to get ahead of Becky, and it's an aggressive TP forward. They're just rushing in. Yeah, they're looking for him. Put quite a bit of damage down onto him. The Nano's actually going to be used on a Fixit just to try to keep one of the supports in the fight. They both will manage to stay alive, however. Fire strike down, point blank. Now the Blade's going to be pulled out. Immortality Field's already cleared. He's trying to get on top of Becky. The final swipe. Not quite going to find it. MN3 steals it away, but that's going to be the Fusion stealing away the point. They now have the cap. The cleanup is there. Valiant now need to re-aggress.
They cannot split the fight like that. They need to stack as 5 for this Ryan Brawl come to work. And they're all over the place, right? You have Marvel kind of on the point. You have other players playing on the outside. Becky's the only one that actually swaps here. And now they got rid of the Mei, and the Blizzard does nothing for them, because the Blizzard otherwise would have been great if you just force Fusion to come onto you on the point, and you are stacking as 5. How do you retake this one? Should be a Shadow play, but Belisria can block it. Okay, get rid of the bubble and just solo Shadow Belisria. That's got to be the call.
Okay, they're going to TP down to the low ground, get themselves into the point, and then likely use the Shadow to try to win out the fight from there. But there's the EMP and Marvel. Just cannot stay on his 2 feet. Langzo cannot use that sound barrier fast enough to try to save the tank. Now the shielding going to be gone. Molly under heavy fire. The Primal Rage into the back there from Belisria finishes the job. Langzo tries to stay alive, but to no avail. He ends up falling. Greatly.
Marvel has to...
just great execute fight there from Fusion.
Marvel's got a call to make here, because if there's a time to swap off the Rhine, it's now. If you don't swap off the Rhine now, you're committed for the rest. That means they're staying. And I suggested that EasyCon should be on the Cassidy first and foremost anyway, but now they don't have the Mei. Maybe the Tracer is better for them. I mean, Becky has been pounding on the Tracer, but the Shadow needs to come through this fight.
Shadow going to be dropped in. Fix it going to be taken down. Becky able to find one with a pulse in the end. Nano used here on a Belisria to keep him a little bit more staying power, but MN3 off screen going to fall. Langza managing to find him. Belisria just doesn't stand a chance. The Fire Strike will finish him off. The Valiant should be able to go ahead and retake this one, and we're getting in the final fight territory for both of these teams. The flip's going to be coming through. It's going to be just shy of 90% here. Nope, they get it here for the side of Fusion.
Aim God, by the way, used Nano on Belisria, so there's no Nano Blade. I think that could be really tricky for Fusion to navigate now. They really wanted Belisria alive, but the Nano Blade is how you get past this Valiant hold of this Rhine. I mean, now it's going to be so hard.
Zest needs to go huge. MN3 scouting, giving them all the information they need. They see Becky off on that right side. Hack goes in. They get easy hunt, but he just turns and he just absolutely domes MN3. The Electric Cowboy, and Zest gets the play canceled. It's all over. The Valiant is done. Easy hunt comes up with kill after kill, running the Cassidy. They get the touch for the OT, but Belisria just does not stand a chance. He gets melted down, and that is going to be the finish. A heartbreak here for the side of the Fusion. They take it all the way into 5. And then it comes tumbling down with 3 quick taps of the head. EasyCon ends their hopes and dreams. The Blade shut down. The kill on to MN3. It's fantastic stuff from him in the end. And for the Fusion, it is nothing but heartbreak. Someone check on Bad Pachimari.
I was going to ask what he was going to pred for this one, but maybe it's better if we don't. This is such an important win for the Valley because they themselves are trying to escape the dredges of coming 7th place, which would eliminate you from play-in's contention. You'd be out, you'd be gone, your season will be done. Paris had already been eliminated today. Their season's over. They saw regular season games, but they cannot make the play-ins. And for the APAC side of things, given how poor the LA Valiant's Summer Showdown was, these wins are required, because Guangzhou Charge are sneaking ahead. And speaking of sneaking ahead, this could have been Fusion sneaking ahead of the Hangzhou Spark to reach playoffs. Top 3 in APAC gets you an auto qualification, but now both the Hangzhou Spark and the Philly Fusion will be left wanting 0-1 to start their opening week, and not a single point earned. You can see the disappointment on the Fusion faces. They know how important it is to get these wins in the race against Hangzhou Spark.
And it's just a brutal way to lose. I mean, from the outset, Valiant, they very much set the pace, but Fusion were able to reply blow for blow, picking up, alternating maps. But as it gets all the way here to 5, they deal with the Rhine. They manage to make that work. They have a clear lead on this last round of Village. But then it all comes tumbling down. What a performance in the end from EasyHan to really just put them 6 feet under. Just fantastic shots from him.
Yeah, I mean...
Well,
without it,
we've already...
To no one's surprise, right? Like,
yeah,
player of the match,
let's just go
Kilios.
EasyHan.
EasyHan. Take it home.
I mean, he started things off incredibly well with the symmetric. I mean, some of the plays in this, just a highlight reel of sim play, which is something that we haven't really gotten to see at all throughout this. This was the clip that made me lose my mind. The play of the game from the first map, just absolutely incredibly proficient play on sim, which is not something that we see very much of in general, especially so in this season. But the whole way throughout, EasyHan was just impeccable. Becky, Marvel, they all had their moments. Molly, especially with some of the nades that he was connecting with on Nepal. They all get a good shout, but EasyHan was consistent pretty much the whole way throughout. Every single map that he played in, he was pounding.
And even the Sojin as well. I mean, they lost Colossia, but he was still landing some decent shots. And I feel like this has been a long time coming for both the Valiant and also EasyHan. We're now getting the clips of the final Electric Cowboy. This is really what the player of the match is really about. Just deleting Zest. M3 aim got Zest, all 3 down. The blade is gone, and part of me looks at that, I'm thinking, man, this is where that extra nano onto Zest would have been so important. And look at the stats across the board. He played a lot of different heroes, so obviously when we look at total 5 map stats, Sombra was only part of the equation compared to every single thing he played. But I also look at this as a strong mental win from the LA Valiant, given how many map 5s they go to. I mean, they lost so many map 5s in the Summer Showdown and in other tournaments as well. And for them to finally get to another map 5 and win it is an important milestone. And I mean, it's not the first time because they beat Chengdu in a map 5 as well, but you have to be winning more of these than losing it if you are the LA Valiant, because otherwise you're just being crushed by the weight of the pressure on a map 5. And I kind of felt like this was on board in terms of win coming up, because you look at the Seoul game that we casted yesterday, 0-3, a ridiculously close game versus Seoul, who are no slouches, just beat Dragons today 3-0. And then if the Valiant can play Seoul that tight, not in scoreline, but in terms of the feel for the match and how close the actual results in the particular maps are, then you know Valiant are a dangerous team. So it was about time that they beat somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, what a well-deserved victory from them. And honestly, I think the saddest thing about this whole series is that I don't think that Tezande was here to witness it live. So he's going to have to catch the VOD or catch the reprise of the series later on ahead of the NA matches. But, man, what a match here from the Valiant to be able to scoop their 5th series victory across the whole season. But this is the thing that, in addition to loving this meta, the continued development of all the teams here in APAC, it's now showing that there are no easy wins. Every single team. Guangzhou Charge nearly getting that reverse sweep earlier. Sure, there was the easy win, I guess, for the Dynasty over the Dragons. That was about it. But everything else is looking so tight-knit between all the teams, and that's what we love to see, is a very competitive region. There is no